You've seen a bunch of things on this channel. Death games, creepy cults, vicious killers, horrifying monsters, and a bunch of other interesting things. However, we never recapped werewolf movies. So it's time to change that. Welcome back, guys. It's Motion Recaps again. And today, we're covering the 2013 horror movie, Where. Spoilers ahead. Let's begin. French police, led by Captain Klaus Pistor, question Claire Porter as she recovers in a hospital bed. She survived a vicious attack, and she tells them everything that happened. Her family is from America, and they came to France for vacation. One night, they went camping near the woods. Claire recalls that the night was really bright because of the full moon. Suddenly, her dog started barking at something in the woods. That's the first sign to leave that place. Claire's husband just had to go and see why the dog was barking. Suddenly, a bloodthirsty beast attacked the family, and it ate the father and son for dinner. Now before I continue on with this breakdown, please take a moment right now and subscribe to this channel, like this video, and hit that bell icon to be notified of when we have another motion recap ready for you to enjoy. Alright, now let's get back to our story. As the woman is talking about the beast, she refers to it as him, and that grabs Klaus's attention. He asks her what she means by referring to the beast as a human being. Claire then tells him that it had human features. She later dies in the hospital from her wounds. Then we get a news montage from which we find out that the police caught a suspect named Talan. Klaus is sure he's the killer, but then we meet expatriate attorney Catherine, who thinks that Talan is innocent. While being interviewed, she promises that she'll do her very best to prove that Talan is not guilty. Soon, an animal expert, Dr. Gavin, shows up as Kate requested. Once in the past, Kate had a similar case, and Gavin managed to prove that the suspect was innocent because the animal killed the victim. However, Gavin is also her ex. Then we meet Kate's investigator, Eric. The three of them have a meeting to make a plan for what to do first. They go to talk with Klaus about the suspect, and they find out that they caught Talan with barely any evidence. Claire told them that the attacker was a tall and hairy creature, and they found washed away footprints. Kate is a little mad because there's not enough evidence, but Klaus tells her that they will have the DNA results in 2 days. Kate then requests to interview Talan, and Klaus takes her to an interrogation room. They bring Talan in like he's Hannibal Lecter. Kate immediately notices his unusual height, facial and body hair. Everyone leaves her with Talan. I wouldn't want to be in there either. Kate tries to speak with him, but Talan is not saying anything. Kate then asks Klaus if he can remove the handcuffs from Talan, and he grants her wish. Talan then starts talking, and Kate is surprised when he hears that he knows English. He tells her that his mother taught him. They are so close to starting a conversation about the murders when Klaus shows up, and he tells Kate that the time is up. Talan grabs Kate's hand, and he asks her to help him. Chaos breaks out, and Gavin shows up trying to look like a knight in shining armor, and he gets bit by Talan. Kate's team travels to Talan's remote house in the woods to interview his mother. Mrs. Gwenick tells them that she's originally from Romania. She claims that Talan would have been too physically weak to commit the murders because he suffers from a rare genetic condition passed down through the males in their family. She also claims that the police are targeting Talan because the government wants to take their land for use as a nuclear waste disposal site. At the end, she tells Kate that her husband died in a car crash. After some time, Kate looks at the files of the car crash, only to find out that Talan's father had an insane amount of phenobarbital. She's surprised when she sees that Klaus was a lead investigator in that case. Later, Gavin informs Kate that he found out the disease that Talan has is called porphyria, and that it's really rare. Kate notices that her necklace is missing, and then Gavin attempts to flirt with her, which spurs resentment from Eric. Gavin also begins feeling gradually more ill since suffering the bite at the police station. The next day, Kate and Gavin go to see the bodies of the father and son, or better to say, what's left of them. Whichever animal attacked them, it took a really big juicy bite of the father's leg and jaw. Gavin explains to Kate that there's no possible way that a human could do such things without a weapon. There are only traces of teeth and claws. Then they go to the son, and half of him is missing. Kate visits Talan again, and she tells him that they found out more about the disease that he has, and if they prove to the court that he has it, then he'll be a free man. She then explains to him that he'll need to do a test, and he tells her that he doesn't have any problem with that. Kate then finds out that he was unconscious during the night of the attack because of the disease. Before she leaves, Talan returns her ring, saying that it was bent and that he fixed it. Kate thanks him and tells him that she's really thankful because it was a gift from her deceased father. Kate then visits Klaus with her team, and she tells him about Talan's disease and that they will test him. She asks Klaus about Talan's father because of the amount of drugs found in his body is comically suspicious. Klaus assures her that they found him that way and that he was only a drug addict. Klaus then gets a call, and when he hangs up, he tells Kate and her team that there was another animal attack near the woods. Something attacked horses from one farmer. They go immediately to check the situation out. They throw smoke to lure the animal out, and suddenly, a bear shows up. After they kill it, Klaus reveals that bears don't live in this part of France. That night, Gavin starts feeling a lot worse. Kate and Eric notice that, but Gavin assures them that he's just tired. The next day, Talan is transported to the hospital to do some tests, and there he reunites with his mother for a short time. Gavin explains to Talan that they will need to take a sample from his eye, and then they will see his reaction to the flashing light. If he has a small seizure, it means he has porphyria. Everyone observes the testing procedure. The lead doctor takes a sample of Talan's eye, and then they get the first sign that he indeed has porphyria. They get Talan ready for the flashing light procedure. The testing begins, but Talan suddenly starts to act strange. Gavin tells the lead doctor to stop the procedure, but the doctor assures him that everything is fine. Talan suddenly breaks free, and he starts throwing the personnel around and killing them like crazy. Gavin only manages to stay alive. Panic breaks out, and Talan escapes. Klaus bursts in anger at Kate, and he tells her that this is all her fault. Eric is doing some research, and he figures out that Talan's condition has a connection with the moon. He tells that to Kate, and he reminds her that tonight will be a full moon. Then, they hear the news that the police surrounded Talan in an old building. Kate and Eric immediately go there. Gavin stays, and he's alone now, so uses that chance to test himself for porphyria. He takes his glasses off, and he accidentally cuts his eye. But anyway, he gets the result that he is positive. Kate and Eric meet Klaus, and they proceed to observe the situation from monitors. Klaus orders his unit to get into the building to arrest Talan. They enter, and they find Talan on the 8th floor. The unit surrounds Talan, who starts turning into a werewolf. He attacks the unit, and he starts killing them one by one with his teeth and claws. After he murders all of them, he jumps out of the building, and he looks at Kate before he flees. Kate and Eric pick up Gavin, and they drive to Talan's home, where Klaus is with his forces. There is no trace of Talan's mother. Kate goes out to look for her, and she enters the barn. She assumes that Talan's mother is there, and she explains that she just wants to help. A pig scares Kate, and then Eric shows up with a few police officers, but guess what? Talan is there too. He takes a huge bite out of a police officer, and when the others show up, he escapes into the dark woods. Later, Kate tells Klaus that they should look into a nearby cave system because it's a perfect hiding place for Talan. Everyone leaves and Kate stays alone with Gavin for a moment, and he reveals to her that Talan infected him. He gives a gun to Kate, and he tells her to shoot him if he loses his mind. They hug each other, and Kate leaves to find Talan. Kate, Eric, and Klaus are in front of the cave system. Klaus orders his assault team to split up into a few groups, and every group to enter a tunnel. Kate and Eric go together with the police officers, and first, they find a bunch of human and animal bones, all scattered around the cave. Then Talan emerges from the shadows, and he attacks them. He grabs one assault team member, and he is ready to kill him. But somehow, Kate manages to get his attention. She gives her best to calm him down. It seems that Talan recognizes Kate, and remembers her good intentions of helping him. But Talan kills the assault team member, and the rain of bullets strikes him down. Then, they put him in a police van to transport him for research. Kate and Eric follow the police van, while Klaus is observing from the helicopter. Suddenly, the van carrying Talan overturns as Talan comes back to life, ready to continue his rampage. Meanwhile, after becoming increasingly ill, Gavin investigates Talan's house, and he finds a secret chamber. He informs Kate about his finding, and then he finds a dead police officer. Talan's mother shows up, and she attacks Gavin, screaming at him that he should have to save Talan. Gavin asks Talan's mother what's going to happen to him, but she refuses to tell him. He gets enraged, and he kills her with his bare fists. Gavin then shaves off all of his body hair as he gives into his new werewolf alter ego. Man, use some shaving foam at least. Kate and Eric then get the smart idea to follow Talan. While Klaus is blasting with his rifle from the chopper, Kate and Eric lose Talan, and they get out of the car with their guns to find him and take him out. What a stupid decision. I mean, how many trained cops did this guy just kill? Well, Talan shows up, and he instantly overpowers Eric, who tries to calm him down by saying that he understands him. However, it seems that Talan didn't understand him too well, so he ripped out his jaw. Maybe that'll help. Kate then fires a few rounds into Talan, and the chase begins. Soon, he catches up with her. But to her luck, Gavin shows up and he attacks Talan. The two of them fight like two enraged animals, and somehow, Gavin comes out as the winner. Gavin then approaches Kate and points Kate's gun to his head. Then he falls on his knees, waiting for Kate to pull the trigger. However, Klaus fires and a bullet hits Kate in the stomach. Gavin goes into a rage. The assault team surrounds him and Gavin kills them one by one. Then he throws one team member's body into the chopper. It crashes and Klaus dies. Then we get some news footage that reveals that Kate survived and that Klaus is involved in a conspiracy to kill Talan's father and to take over his land. Also, we find out that Talan's body was never recovered, and it's assumed that Talan is responsible for a bunch of new vicious killings. Meanwhile, Gavin's true identity as a werewolf remains a secret. The movie ends as Gavin says to the camera that Talan is a werewolf. Yep, folks, if you couldn't tell by his hairy body and his super strong physique, homeboy was a werewolf. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed this recap. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And as always, please remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and ring that bell to be notified when another movie recap drops. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.